Hello, hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Kalispell, Montana. Almost said live, but this is not live. This is a recording earlier today because Mom has an appointment and I don't know if I'll be home in time for the 3:33 Paper Pumpkin Playdate. So I'm making sure that you get to see this at 3:33 Mountain Time today. So it is Paper Pumpkin Playdate. I'm excited to share these two new alternate cards with you. One is a fun fold I haven't done for quite a while. But the cool part is because the cards in this kit are lengthwise, the 4.5 by 11, it makes it perfect for this fun fold. And then I have for you a quick little shaker card. Had to think of the word. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here we go. We have our Paper Pumpkin kit. It comes monthly to your door, to your mailbox. And although some people may get it delivered to the door, it depends on how big your mailbox is, I suppose. But it comes monthly. It's a subscription. You can either pay a prepaid subscription of 3, 6, or 12 months, or you can do a month to month or pay as you go kind of thing. You can pause it at any time, cancel it any time. There's no penalties whatsoever as long as you do it by a particular day in the month. So by the 10th of the month, because on the 11th is when it bills. So right now we have a special going on that goes until the 10th of this month, which is on Monday. So you have today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to subscribe to this Paper Pumpkin. You can get 25% off if you are a first-time subscriber or a first-time with that email address subscriber. And you can get this Kindred Greetings with this beautiful front. Look at that. It's going to be gorgeous textured card bases and envelopes. So this is a special. It only is until Monday evening and then it will be gone. After that, the September one is these Aspens of Gratitude, which right now I'm not very thankful for aspens because we cut some down in our front yard and the suckers from the roots all popped up through our lawn. So we have an aspen and an aspen lawn going on, and we keep mowing them, but they keep coming back. So not sure what we're going to do about that. And then we have the dies, and let me show you the dies. So they are this here, what's in this circle. So it is this wonderful circle. We have this leaf, which I have not played with yet, but we're going to be using these, and then these flower parts that you can put all together. So super cool. We'll be using those in today's cards. It is an all-inclusive kit, so all you need is a pair of scissors. Although I do recommend a take your pick and a bone folder. That just helps make it that much easier to use them. This one came with an ink spot of Timid Tiger. I will be using my regular size Timid Tiger. Then we have our fabulous stamps, which are now shown back here. So you can see, that way you can make sure you've got them all. We have hugs and wishes, hooray, birthday wishes, it's your day. Then we have all the different flower parts, which we talked about last week, that the dies actually do cut those out, but you have to have a hole to stamp them in first to make that work so that you get everything in the right direction. And then we have this fun little grid. All right, so we have our no fail instructions. Here you go, arrows, pictures, no words, no way to misunderstand where anything goes. There were 3 cards, 3 of each design in the kit. These are the ingredients for each card, and then how to lay them out, where to stamp them. And this is one of the cards, and they are all easel cards, which is really cool because we don't usually have fun folds for Paper Pumpkin, so this was really a cool one. But because it is this length of a card base, that allowed me to do some different fun folds. So we have this one, and then the front of the cards have these, let's see if I can catch it. There we go. You see the little shine. So it has the oval that goes with the oval piece on here. And so each card, there was the hexagon So the front of the envelope has this hexagon, the front of the envelope has this oval, and then the front of the envelope has this arch. And so then this one goes this way. So we had one horizontal card and two vertical cards. And I've already taken out, I think, everything that I wanted for these alternates, and then I just need this. And these are still the extras that I have to play with. We'll keep this. All right, so we're going to bring over this one. We're going to start with the fun fold. I have my measurements here. I will read them out to you, or I guess you could see them if you would like to zoom in on. I guess you can't zoom in on that. I can zoom in a little bit. If you wanted to take a screenshot, you would see we have the cardstock scored at 1/2 inch, 1 3/4 inch, 3 3/4 inch, and 5. And then DSP, which I'm using the card bases, at 1 by 4, 1 3/4 by 4, and 3 1/2 by 4. So in this case, I ended up bringing in a piece of cardstock instead of using the card base. And then I went ahead and did all the die cutting for this. So, there we go. So we have our card base cut at 4 1/4 by 11. This is a piece of Melon Mambo. We're going to fold all these score lines in. So we have them at 1/2 inch, 1 3/4 inches, 3 3/4 inches, and 5. And we'll go ahead, we're going to turn this over. We're going to go ahead and put our cards, our DSP, or what I'm calling DSP, on here before we glue that. Oh, I just realized I am missing. All right, I'm missing a piece. Although I guess we don't have. All right, here we go. Did I check to see if my glue was ready to roll before I started the video? No. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. All right. We're going to see. I just realized I kind of am missing a piece, but we're going to see if it will work without it. And maybe we're just creating our own different kind of fun fold. If it will stand without it, then it's all good. Here we go. So then what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue on this little 1/2 inch piece, like that. Hold on. Here we go. I always have to remind myself how this goes. So we're going to fold this like this, and then we're going to fold it up here so that it's like that. All right. And then that creates this box for standing on. Okay, so the part that I thought was missing, it's missing, but just depending on the style of card, but it will stand up like that. So we're going to go with it like that. So then this, here we go, gets put right here. This is the 3 1/4 by 4. And that's going to go right here, like that. All right. And then, here we go. Then I have a piece of two-tone cardstock in the Peaceful Pine, and I have a white one, and this was cut out of the arch that we're using on the next one. So this is part of the arch. Let me show you on this one. And this is the die that comes with the add-ons. All right, so that's this die right here. I cut it out of there. So we have this one, and then I cut another one out of that, and we're going to just do it like that. All right. that on right there. And then put that on right there. All right. Then we're going to stamp this using the Melon Mambo, because I like to go with the darker colors for the sentiments. And we're going to use, what did I do with the stamps? Here they are. We're going to use, which one was it? Hooray, it's your day. There we go. Had to think for a minute. Where was I going with this? I created these last week. I need to learn to draw a sketch so I know what I'm doing, because I had to look at it today and I drew a blank for a moment as to what card I was making. So when you plan that far ahead, probably should do a sketch, or at least make yourself a note. I'm telling myself this. Make yourself a note, June, so you don't forget what it is you're doing. All right, so we're going to do the Hooray from here because it's black and it stands out, and it's a little bigger than the stamp. If the stamp had been a little bigger, I might have done it and then just fussy cut it, but it's not. So let's get the center piece out. Here we go. That didn't want to come off. All right. Here we go. Hooray. There we go. We want to make sure that stays in there. And then we're going to put these on dimensionals, which I don't know what I did with those. So we'll just use this. And I'll do one more. There we go. And we can put the Hooray, it's your day right there. All right, and that's going to stand up like that. All right, and then we're going to decorate this up here. And probably should have stamped it before I glued it. I forgot about that. Ooh. All right. Birthday, or we'll do hugs and wishes. And we'll see if we can make this work, because June forgot about that. See, like I said, I need to write myself a note. What did I plan, or a sketch? Let's see, we'll put it over here. There we go. That worked because I did it where the green was underneath, so there was no line coming off. And then we're going to decorate these leaves. So these are cut. Some of them I did it in the two-tone Peaceful Pine. Small stuff, need glasses. All right. So we have some centers to glue. Have our wonderful take your pick tool. Come on, turn over. There we go. So I just did a couple different colors. And then we will do a little dab of glue. Oh, looks like I'm missing a color. Where'd it go? Oh, stayed on there. All right. Oh, come on. There we go. It flipped over. All right. Looks like, is it in the envelope? I know I cut it. don't know what happened to it. All right, well, I'll have to add that later. We'll keep going. There we go. And we'll do that one right there. We'll do this one. All right. The glue is stickier than the take your pick tool tab. All right. So here we go. There's those flowers, and I'll have to find or add a center to that. I don't know where it is. Maybe the extra center's in the other card. Or we could use, here, we'll just use one of these. We'll just use one off of there. Doesn't have to be the exact same, right? There we go. All right. So now we're going to put one of the flowers down here. I think this is where the tweezers, that's another thing that's super handy, especially if you're dealing with small things like this. The tweezers come in super handy. So we're going to stick one flower over here. There we go. And I think we're going to do the orange, the timid tiger with the yellow center. I've really gotten into the pink and orange combination. I'm not sure why. It still blows my mind. I think that's why I keep mentioning it each time. I just don't know why or how I got into that. I was never big on orange at all, but I love the pink and orange together. They just work. Like if I were to have a little girl, she'd probably have a pink and orange bedroom. Not purple. No, I know you all are probably surprised at that. But yeah. Okay, we're going to turn this around this way. And I'm going to put one of those there. And then put some more glue on this one. So, how do you like pink and orange? Are you a pink and orange fan? Give me a, let me see. Put OP if you like orange and pink, or put, nope if you don't think they go together, or yep if you like orange and pink together, nope if you don't like orange and pink together. How about that? So whether you're watching this when this first airs, or whether you're watching this as a replay, go ahead and let me know what you think on the orange and pink. Do you go for that, or do you not go for that? I just really, yeah, I don't know. I'm all over it. I like it. And we've had different papers that have pink and orange together, and I always love them. Let's see, let's put that one there. All right, and then, and I'm not using dimensionals just because I feel like that would just be too wobbly for this. So doing that, and this is Berry Burst. Oh, there it is. It was underneath and it was still yellow, so that's okay. We'll go with it. I don't know how I didn't see that. All right. These are just so pretty. I just love this. I love it. And I'm going to stick those under. And go under. There we go. Because I like the petals sticking out, so I want to have the, oh, whoops. That needs to go on the other side. All right. So, all right, there we go. All right, and there we go. So we have four flowers up here, and we have those down there. And I think that just looks so cute, and it stands up. It stands up just like that. How do you like that? What do you think? Hooray, it's your day. Hugs and wishes. Fun, bright, colorful. Perfect. Perfect. If you had some gems, which I don't, let me see, what do we have over here? Those are, oh, those might work. No. If you had some of the, ooh, those, nope, those don't work. Well, the orange, but you have, there's no orange here. These are the in color. No, those aren't the in colors. What are those? That's Berry Burst. That doesn't really, let me see if any of my older ones that are, wow, I need to get some updated colors of gems. The other thing though is we could use the basic rhinestones. That would be better. We could use basic rhinestones, and I will grab Timid Tiger and the Melon Mambo, actually. So we'll grab the Timid Tiger and the Melon Mambo, and we're going to color a few of these gems. Or you could even put them on without coloring them. Let's see how that looks. I have a piece here with some of the smaller ones. I think, actually, you know what? That sparkle is just right. And I'm just going to do 3 right there. And then I'm going to do another few down here because this is a birthday card, right? So we need a little bit more fun. So there's 6. So we need 1 more. And we'll put 1 down here. Okay, that brightened it up, and you didn't even have to have any colored, and it gave it some nice sparkle. All right, so there we go. There you have it. There is card 1. And at the end of this, I'm going to have you vote for me on which one you like, card 1 or card 2, which one you like better. And don't worry, no offense will be taken if you are like, well, I like this one better than this one, or if you say, you know what, they didn't turn me on, or if you say both, it'll be okay. So this is the circle cut again from the dies, the add-on dies. So this is a piece of window sheet. And this is from a past Paper Pumpkin. So anytime I have leftover adhesive of any kind from Paper Pumpkin, I always keep it. And it worked out perfectly today because this circle fits, and then I can make a shaker card. And this is from a past shaker card kit, because I think we had a shaker card kit a few Christmases ago, I think. And that's where that's from, or maybe even longer. So I have I have a base of Berry Burst, not a pear. I'm going to push that in here, and I'm going to line that up. Bring in my bone folder. And it does such a better job than what I did ever. Better than scoring. Then this was the other side. Oh no, this was a different card base, because you can see this has the Melon Mambo in it and this one doesn't. That's why I went ahead and used the Berry Burst. So we will glue that front on. Hopefully I'm not jumping the gun with this, because now I'm like, oh, what if I was supposed to wait to glue that? But it's done now, or just about. It's got the glue all over it, so here we go. All right. Now we have this. This is where I cut that other circle out of, and so I wanted to be able to do something, not have it wasted, because it has that pretty shiny stuff. So we're going to be putting it on here and turning it into the shaker card. We have this, and then we have a few flowers for the outside, and then we have a bunch of little flowers for the inside. And for the insides, I did not only, where are my dies? Here we go. I did not only these flowers, but I did the butterflies and the flowers from the other one, from quarter 2. So we use these flowers, these butterflies, and these flowers from the add-ons to make all these little bits. We're going to keep these butterflies out because they're a little too big. We're going to keep these flowers out as well. All right. I think I might put gems in those because I cut all these little bits. Make sure everything's turned over the right way. All right, everything's turned over. And so I just picked some bright, fun colors to use for the shaker bits. All right. And then I cut these 3, so these 3 flowers and these 3 flowers, when you die cut them, they're attached, and I just cut them apart. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to, I think we're going to, let's see. I want to make sure to put it in the right spot. I guess maybe we'll do it this way. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to put it on here like this. So the stitching is not showing. Then we're going to stick this down on top of it. Ooh, that's just the right size. Okay, hold on. Did I measure that? It's a little bit bigger. I don't know if that's going to hold it. So what we're going to do, because we're going to take some tape. All right, just some regular tape. How did I have that? Actually, I think I was using this to hold it on. Yeah, I didn't pre-make the card. Oh, it does. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it's all attached. I guess it was big enough so it's sitting around the edge. Now, if you don't have this left over, you're going to use a strip. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure your window sheet is wider than your circle, and you're going to tape it down on the inside so that it can't be seen and so that it stays down before you put your foam adhesive strips around it. Okay, so then we're going to pile these into the center. I was trying to decide. I'm going to pull the bigger flowers out. So I was trying to decide if they were a little too big. So I want to flip this over, flip that, okay. All right, so let's get these all on here. All right, I wanted to have something sparkly, but we don't have any sequins at all right now for this. However, let's see, I have some sequins from the past. Here we go. And you may have some loose shaker stuff too. So I was going to put a little bit of that in there. That's why I'm pulling out these larger flowers. I think we're going to leave those in there, the little stuff. should we put these? See, if it was live, I could ask you what you think. I think those are kind of big. So then I'm going to put a little bit of this in there with it, just to give it a little bit of sparkle. Okay. And I'm keeping it all centered there. All right, so we'll do just a little bit more. These are stars, not flowers, but that's okay. It's also got these little ring things. Here we go. Whoop, almost dumped that. That would not have been good. So I'll put a few more of those over there. All right, here we go. Whew, those are closed. It's scary sometimes with these things. So we're going to put those all into the center like that. And then we're going to take this off. And I'm going to add these because they're the same height. I'm going to add some of these around this edge. All right. So we're going to add those so that the whole thing doesn't, you don't want this all popped up and the rest of it not popped up. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to snip these. See, we have to have our scissors. We're going to snip this for over there. And snip that for that side. And then we're going to snip one more for over here. Maybe two more. And then I still have bits to be able to use. Okay. All right, and we're gonna fill in that blank area there just to make sure there's no sagging. Here we go. Just like that. Then we're going to take those off. There we go. And I love that you can save your leftovers from other kits and then bring them in. I have lots of leftovers from other kits, especially these kinds of specialty things where I thought, oh, I better save that. Never know when I'm going to need it. And look, this is not the first time I've gotten to use it. All right, so then we're going to flip this over and we're going to center it on here. Oh, and all the static. There we go. And so now we have this fun little shaker card. All right. And we have some extra flowers. So we're going to first stamp our sentiment, which is going to be, where are my stamps? I keep losing my stamps. There they are. We're going to do birthday wishes. Bring that in. Birthday wishes. There we go. And we're going to use the Berry Burst ink. There we go. Birthday wishes. There we go. Like that. Let's close this up. So drop something in it. And we're going to use some glue. We're going to put those right here, like that. All right. And then we're going to add some flowers. Actually, I should have held off on that. We're going to put a flower there, I think. And then we'll put the birthday wishes over it. So let's grab this. I miss not talking to you. Like I'm talking to you, but like asking questions and getting an answer. So tell me what you think of this. Would you have used the bigger flowers or kept it small like that? What would have been your choice? with that. And then I think we're going to use the pink one over here. And this is Bubble Bath, which was one of the colors in there. And then I wonder what that would look like. No. No. All right. What about this one? If we doubled up the flower, would you have doubled up the flower? I don't think so. I'm not going to anyways. And then we'll try this again. And I'm going to drop it down just a little bit like that. And then we'll go ahead and use the center from here on that flower. There we go. And we're going to do our other two flowers on the other side. And then it has already some sparkle inside, so there's no need to add sparkle. Here we go. So, is this something you would do? Would you make a shaker card out of your paper pumpkins, or do you prefer to keep it a little simpler? And simple works too. You know, I've asked before, you know, would you do, let's mix it up and use different flowers. Do you make alternates? Do you not make alternates? And then we want a white one there. Why is that not sticking down? Oh, not enough glue. There we go. I'm just going to hold it there a minute. All right, and then I think I'm going to use the yellow one here. There we go. Because then it ties into that. It's a little staticky. All right, and then we can still use these. Just a darker yellow center. And here, there we go. And then I was going to use this little butterfly. Over here. And this little butterfly over here. All right, there we go. Birthday wishes. And then we could pull in some more of those rhinestones. Where'd the rhinestones go? Ooh, I got a mess over here. All right, here we go. Here's some rhinestones. You could always use these for the flower centers too instead of this. That would add a little bit more sparkle. But we could just do a couple things like right here, right there, and then maybe another one. Oh, got some cat hair. Another one right there. That's our little triangle. You could, sometimes I know some people who like to line up some rhinestones along the body centers of their, whoop, too high. Line up some rhinestones here, some little rhinestones here for the body centers of the butterflies. I don't think I'm going to do that, but that's something you could do as well. And then you'll want to put your white paper in, which apparently I forgot to cut that too. So we have a fun little shaker card. How cool. I like how these turned out. So you will have to tell me one or two. Which one do you like better? Which one might you try? Oh, let's bring those down so you can actually see them. And remember, this one stands up like that. And of course, you could have this one stand as well. All right, so here's our little shaker card and our little stand-up box card. So how fun are those? I trust you enjoyed it. I trust you give it a whirl. It's mostly using what's in the kit. There's a little bit of extra cardstock, of course, the gems. And then if you have the add-ons, you can do that. If you don't have the add-ons, you might consider getting them, although the one with the butterflies is sold out. The only one that I saw the last time that was still available is the 3rd quarter one. So you would have to get these, but you could still make lots of little flowers and put them in there as well. All right, or maybe you have some other punch, or you just put the sequence in there, and that works too. All right, so card 1 or card 2, which one is your favorite today? All right, so if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button for me. And on Facebook, also the thumbs up or the heart, so that my video gets out to others and can inspire others to make something different with their paper pumpkins. Also, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I think it's over here, a subscribe button, so then you'll make sure not to miss my other lives and or videos when they come out. So on Facebook, you can find me at Junebug Creations 29, and on YouTube, the same, Junebug Creations 29. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your Friday. I will be back here tomorrow at 7:13 p.m. on Saturday, 7:13 p.m. Mountain Time for Junebug's Creative Crush, and we're going to be jumping into that hot foiling. Woo, baby! Just wait until you see. Until then, I'll see ya. Bye-bye.